conversation, but what I've seen happen with the conversation about cultural responsiveness is that culture has become largely conflated with race and essentialized around race. In other words, it's like, oh, Jeff, you work in East Oakland and you got a lot of black and brown kids, and I work in DC and I got black and brown kids just like you. So can I have your syllabus? Okay, so where we're pushing the conversation is that two things that I want you to really think about. One, race is a component of culture, okay? But it does not define culture, right? Gender is a component of culture. Sexual identity is a component of culture. Class is a component of culture. Zip code is a component of culture. Okay? Youth is a component of culture, right? So if you're really culturally responsive, right, it means you're attentive to all the elements of culture. Language is a component of culture. Food is a component of culture. Style is a component of culture. Music is a component of culture, right? So if you really want to be culturally responsive, don't essentialize it to, oh, you're Latino, you'll like House on Mango Street. You're black, you'll like the autobiography of Malcolm X. Okay? It's way more complicated than that. So where we're actually pushing the conversation is to sub out the word cultural responsiveness and insert the word community responsiveness. Okay? Because if you're community responsive, you are by default culturally responsive. But if you're community responsive, you're recognizing that the culture of the youth and the families and the history where you do the work, okay, is unique to that space. And when I say unique to that space, I mean unique to the building that you're in. So don't essentialize Oakland's culture. If you're from the town, right, you know it's a big-ass difference between the West and the East. Okay? We talk differently, we walk differently, we dress differently, we speak differently. The historical elements of West Oakland and East Oakland are fundamentally different. Right? So if you're going to use stuff that's working in the West, you got to really figure out, how do I have to modify this to be relevant to the communities that I'm serving in East Oakland? Right? So think about what it means to be community responsive, to develop curriculum, pedagogy, assessment, that is responsive to the particular needs of the community. In order to do that, you have to become an ethnographer of the community you serve. And you got to get on the streets, you got to get into the neighborhoods, you got to get in the barrios, you got to get into homes, you got to talk to preachers, you got to talk to community organizers, you got to talk to the ancestors, okay, about the history, the place, and the space where you're really doing the work. Okay, that's the only way that you can be community responsive, which by default means, okay, that Pearson can never be community responsive.